So I ask, what does Adam Corey teach on YouTube?
Adam Corey is a web developer and programmer who creates video tutorials on various programming topics such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. He also teaches web design, mobile app development, and game development on his YouTube channel. Additionally, he also provides free tutorials on how to create responsive websites, how to create mobile apps for iOS and Android, and how to use different frameworks like AngularJS, React.js, Vue.js, and much more.
Okay, so we can see right off the bat that it has a good little grasp of what I do. And it also says on the main page before you start, it might give false or wrong information. Okay, now let's ask it, what should Adam Corey teach in 2023 for web and app development?
It is impossible for me to predict what specific topics Adam Corey should teach in 2023 for web and app development, as it depends on the current industry trends and technology advancements at that time. However, some general areas of web and app development that may be relevant for him to teach include responsive design, progressive web apps, PWA, single-page application, SPA, development, modern JavaScript frameworks and libraries, cloud computing and deployment, and security best practices.
Now, that is very interesting because I've been speaking to you guys for a couple of months now about what I have upcoming for 2023, and it was SPA is what I'm doing first. Then I'm going to do progressive web apps, so single page applications. Then I'm going to show how to, and I'm not sure if I'm going to deliver all of this free or not. And it could be that this chatbot has heard me or has knowledge of me talking to you guys about doing SPA and PWA tutorials. And that might be where it's getting that from, but it's pretty dead on. Now let's ask it, is it worth learning to code in 2023? Because I've seen a lot of people making videos, and really popular videos that get a whole lot of views and likes, of them saying don't learn to code, or telling people how to learn to code, but they're pretty much saying don't learn to code because it's not worth it, do this instead. So I'm going to ask it, is it worth learning to code in 2023?
Yes, it is definitely worth learning to code in 2023. Coding is a highly valuable skill in today's digital economy and is likely to become even more important in the future. The demand for developers is consistently high and is expected to continue growing in the coming years.
With a high hourly
Learning to code
rate,
will open up a wide range of career opportunities,
if you freelance,
from web and app development to data analysis and machine learning. It can also be a valuable skill for entrepreneurs and business professionals, allowing them to better understand the technology behind their products and services. Additionally, coding can be a fun and rewarding hobby, and with the increasing number of online resources, it is more accessible than ever before. In summary, learning to code in 2023 would be a wise choice as it opens up a wide range of opportunities, and it is a highly valuable skill set in today's digital economy.
I like that answer. And the reason why I asked it that and wanted to show you guys the answer is because there's a lot of people that just suck at coding and learning all the programming things involved with creating an app, and they just can't put things together the way others can. And so they get on YouTube and they say, oh, don't do it this way, don't do it that. My advice is go into the manuals of the core languages that we're dealing with and learn every single little tiny bit. I'm not saying memorize it, but I'm saying when you have a project and you need to get something done, you can just go into a search engine and ask how to do this in JavaScript, how to do that in JavaScript, or how to do that in Python, how to do this in PHP. You'll get the answer. Then you just apply it. And you don't have to memorize all these things because it's impossible. But you can, once you apply that component, then you have it more locked in. If you just go to the manuals and you're trying to memorize everything, it's all going to leak right out of your head. You have to actually apply it to a project that you're working on. Okay. Now, let's get controversial here. Which is more widely used, PHP or Node.js? And I'm asking it this because I hear a lot of people saying that PHP is dead and that Node.js is everybody's using it, nobody's using PHP anymore, and I just wanted to dispel that. Oh. A lot of people are not going to like this answer. And it could be that it's wrong or it's using outdated information, but trust me, PHP is used everywhere by almost everyone who is a large corporation, social media giants.
PHP is more widely used than Node.js. PHP, Hypertext Preprocessor, is a server-side programming language that has been widely used for web development since the early days of the web. It is particularly well-suited for building dynamic websites and is the language behind many popular content management systems like WordPress, Drupal, and Joomla. As of 2021, PHP is used by about 79% of all websites whose server-side programming language is known. Node.js is a relatively newer technology, which is a JavaScript runtime built on Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. It allows developers.
So you hear that? Node.js is built on top of Google Chrome V8 JavaScript engine. So, of course, Google's going to push it like mad and try to make PHP look like the redheaded stepchild. But that's not the reality. So anytime Google is going to get the chance to give talks or lectures or advice or even manipulate things in their search engine, of course, they're going to put Node.js and their own V8 engine as the preferred method, just out of ownership reasons and or corporate gain. So that's why you hear a lot of crap being talked about PHP. Now, I use Node.js. Actually, I'm using it right now in a project where I'm going to implement OpenAI tools, artificial intelligence, whatever, stuff onto the web, onto my website. So I'm either going to use Node.js or I'm going to use Python. And I might just use Python instead of Node. When you go to implement OpenAI.com's tools, they give you a choice between Node.js and Python with Flask. So let's continue that. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to use at the moment because I use Python and Node. And I use Node on my local machine a lot for various things. For instance, we used it when we did the Apache tutorial a few weeks back. We did the Apache Cordova tutorial. So I used Node in getting that all set up.
Developers to run JavaScript on the server side, enabling the creation of fast and scalable network applications. Node.js is becoming increasingly popular for building web and mobile backends, and also for creating real-time.
Now keep in mind, I'm not telling you to not use Node. Of course you should use Node. But the thing that people say about PHP for the last few years, the things they say about PHP are complete lies. PHP is way more widely used by all of the tech giants than Node is. Because like I said, PHP is the Swiss Army knife of server-side development.
Real-time, data-intensive applications. As of 2021, Node.js is used by about 2% of all websites whose server-side programming language is known.
So ASP and PHP used to battle it out for server-side dominance, and then PHP destroyed it over time, or took it over. So where most websites for server-side, the majority of websites in the world for server-side development are using PHP. End of story.
Known. In summary, PHP is more widely used than Node.js. But Node.js is gaining more popularity in recent years, particularly in the area of real-time web applications and back-end development.
Yeah, for socket
Regenerate
servers.
response.
It's getting used for socket and web. You can have a server set up, a socket server set up in Node, but you can also just use Python which has been around much longer, and it's an easier programming language to learn and utilize. Be clear, I have nothing against Node.js. Use whatever tools that you want that makes you happy and empowers you to build great things. Node.js, I use it myself. Just not as much as I use other things. That's all I'm saying. And Node.js could very well take over Python and PHP in coming years, and that will be all well and good, and I'll be right at home using Node.js, and I won't have any qualms or problems with that. But I'm just telling you what the reality is today. How much money do programming freelancers make? Wow, it's a long answer.
The amount of money that programming freelancers make can vary widely depending on a number of factors such as their level of experience, the type of work they are doing, and the location where they are working. According to data from Upwork, a freelancing platform, the average hourly rate for programming freelancers in 2021 is around $75 per hour, with some highly experienced developers charging $150 or more per hour. The average hourly rate for a full-stack developer is around $80.
Now, what I want to tell you guys about this is, a lot of you guys say, oh, Adam, you shouldn't be doing whatever you want on your YouTube channel. You should stick to the line that we want you to stick to. Stay in the lane that we want you to stay in. And let me tell you right now, I can work for 2 hours freelancing, because that's what I do for a living. I can work for just 2 hours freelancing and make more than I make on YouTube in a month. So I have no problem doing whatever I want on YouTube. If they want to cancel my channel, whatever, I don't even care. So people who are telling me that I need to do a certain thing and trying to be tyrants, trying to make me bite my tongue or say something, not say something that I have on my mind, you guys can stuff it, because I don't need YouTube, and the money that it generates for me is chump change. I work as a freelancer in the programming arena, in the programming industry, and it's way more lucrative. It just makes way more financial sense for me not to be on YouTube, or not even worry about my channel, and focus on freelancing for private paying companies. That's what happens. Companies get in touch with me. They pay me privately to develop whatever they need. I bang it out and we part ways. And then if they ever need help managing it or updating it in the future, they get back in touch. We bang it out again, part ways. I don't let anybody hold me down.
$80 per hour, and for a front-end developer it is around $70 per hour. It's important to note that these rates can vary significantly depending on the location.
And that's why I made my recent social studies and history playlist, is because I'm interested in those things and I want to put it on this channel. And I don't care what anybody says about that.
Location and the specific skill set of the freelancer. Freelancers in countries with a lower cost of living may charge less than those in more expensive countries.
That's a good point. You're going to have people in less economically empowered countries can easily undercut American or European developers by half or more. They can just charge $10 an hour, do similar type work, and work that's just as good in a lot of cases, and undercut everybody. So it's beginning to become a problem where developers in high economically empowered nations are having a harder and harder time finding work, because it's all basically, the freelance market is international, so you can be undercut very easily, and somebody who's charging $10 an hour can scoop up more work than you. So maybe you got to up your game, lower your prices, something.
While those with specialized skills or experience in a specific language or technology may be able to charge more.
Yeah, specialized.
In summary, the amount of money that programming freelancers make can vary widely, but on average, they can make around $75 per hour, with highly experienced developers charging $150 or more per hour.
Yeah, it's insane to me how much people can make programming just sitting at their keyboards all day, tip, 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 tip on the keyboard, while you got guys out here working on giant industrial projects, risking their lives and getting their heads popped off by machinery, and they don't even make that much. And even plumbers and electricians, I mean, they're high paid, but the work they do is a lot more physically demanding and a lot more stressful than the work we do. I think developers make a little bit too much money. Programmers make a little bit too much money. Okay. Now finally, I want to show you something. I don't know if it'll answer this or not, but I just want to show you that this ChatGPT thing and all of these artificial intelligences are programmed to be not as direct and truthful as one would like. Now watch this. Which political party is soft on crime?
It is difficult to make a broad generalization about which political party is soft on crime, as crime policies and criminal justice.
No, it is not difficult to make this broad generalization because they say it themselves. They're making the penalties for theft, murder, assault, rape, kid diddling, and everything. They're softening all of the penalties for that, which exacerbates those crimes. It makes more of those crimes occur when you're soft on crime. For instance, if you chopped off everybody's hand, the hands of thieves, and you cut the tongues out of the mouths of liars, you're going to have a lot less liars and a lot less thieves, because people will see that they should not steal because they'll lose their hands, and they should not lie because they'll lose their tongues. And it's that simple. That's how this all works. Now, when you're soft on crime, you create so much more of the crime.
Justice reform vary greatly between different countries and jurisdictions. In some countries, certain political parties may have a reputation for being more lenient towards criminals, while in others the opposite may be true. Additionally, some parties may lean towards more rehabilitation-based approaches to crime, while others may have a more punitive stance. In the United States, the term soft on crime is often used by politicians to criticize their opponents for being too lenient on criminals.
And they should. Why are we being lenient on criminals? And you might say, oh, because criminal behavior is something that occurs because of the system not being right. No, I'm going to tell you why criminal behavior occurs. Because some people don't care about nothing, and it's all about personal gain for them. They're kind of like psychopaths, and they want to see the world burn. They don't care about anybody except themselves. That's a criminal. That's the criminal mind. And they don't care about the repercussions of their crimes either. This chatbot is not programmed to be direct and honest. And this proves it.
Criminals. However, the term is often used in a political context to criticize the policies of the opposition.
This chatbot is programmed to also be soft on crime, because that's the humans that are programming its mindset.
Opposition party, and it is not a scientifically or objectively verifiable statement.
What?
It's important to note that criminal justice reform is a complex and nuanced issue, and there are many different perspectives on how best to address.
This is what they do. They try to say, oh, don't make a broad generalization. It's so illogical and stupid to not know that if you're soft on crime, you're going to be creating more crime everywhere. It's so easy to understand, but people who lean more towards chaos and evil say things like this.
Them. In summary, it's difficult to say which political party is soft on crime, as it varies depending on the specific country and political context. It's better to evaluate the policies of each party or candidate on crime to get a better understanding of their stance.
Now that is also a load of crap, because I don't care where you go throughout the whole globe. People want less crime, but the people who are soft on crime, people don't want crime to happen to them. But people who are soft on crime make more crime happen. Naturally. And it's not difficult to say which political party in the United States is soft on crime, because we see it every day, them talking about getting softer on crime. They create these revolving doors where somebody can assault somebody and they're out in the street within hours or the next day. Somebody can rob a store and be out on the street the next day because of one certain ideology. Not everybody. It's just one ideology pushing for these things. So I don't want to get too deep into this, but I just want to show you how this chat bot is not direct. It's not honest, and it's heavily influenced by the programmers behind it. And it's also heavily influenced by all of the articles written online in the last 10, 20 years. It's heavily influenced by human minds, and it doesn't have its own mind to think. It just has referencing for all the information that we've put online as humans. This thing is not thinking. This thing is repeating. So I just wanted to let you know that. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.